pulled apart. Officers from the LAPD Southwest Division got search warrants and raided 4 homes on suspicion of drug sales. They arrested 7 people, including the 16-year-old son of Oni Palmer.
They told me a while ago at the police station, they arrested him, say that they had undercover cops watching, say he was out there flagging down customers. And I know my son wasn't flagging down nobody.
The officers did find drugs in one of the houses, but a representative of the NAACP says their tactics were excessive.
These kids sitting over here do not have a place to sleep tonight because of what the police came out here and did. And it's inexcusable. You can't explain it to anyone. And if the police have an explanation, we'd certainly like to hear it.
After the police left, there were gang members who re-entered the locations and were in there during the night and possibly caused some additional damage. But right now what we're looking at is we have an investigation that's being conducted to determine what damage was caused by the police.
The people who live in the trashed units are planning to file complaints against the police department, but that takes a lot of time to process. In the meantime, the Red Cross is here, trying to find them temporary places to live. In the Southwest area, Jim Murphy, Channel 9.
We're at 3907 Dalton, and we're now in the living room area. Okay, come on through, Mark. Make sure you get that, start with the wall there. Around the door. Okay, I got it. Okay. Okay, back across the room. Okay. You see that they damaged not only the furniture, but the walls as well. Get that down the wall right there. Okay. The damage we're looking at presently is a result of an LAPD raid on this particular home. Okay, let's take it. Now walking north through the house. You see the wall in the hallway is caved in and pulled out. Plaster broken. Obvious fire hazard because the electricity could in fact short out. I'm entering the bathroom area now. I don't know if the light's still working here or not. Okay, we got a light. Oh, gee. Get down to this, the toilet is broken. Keep going, Mark. I got it. Okay. Get the bathtub as well. Okay, also shower head full out of the wall as well. Okay, get to the here. Thing here also. Okay, that's good. All right, let's go on. Okay, we're out of the bathroom at the north end of the house. There's water damage on the floor. Okay, continuing north through the house. Now we're in the back bedroom. Windows broken out. Get the TV. There's no reason for the TV to be busted out. They've busted the TV in here. Furniture's broken. Get some of this too. Okay, we're heading back south through the house again. Okay. Now in the east side bedroom. The door torn off the hinges. This is outrageous. Every drawer in the sink area kicked in and busted. Obviously smashed. Stove as well. Stove pulled out. All the windows in the kitchen busted out, every one of them. This refrigerator door. Refrigerator door pulled off. Entire window on this side busted. Food taken out of the refrigerator and dumped. Okay. Even there's sparklets there. Okay. Back bedroom. Back bedroom. Bed. Obviously, it's been turned over. All the windows smashed in the back bedroom. Let me check that one back there. Okay, they smashed every TV in the damn house. Look at this. Sledgehammer used or something like that? Man, I don't believe this. Get a shot of those windows. I got it. I got it. All lamps and everything busted in here. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Don't need no wood.
Let me turn the camera on. Let me see if it's... Yeah, it's on. Okay, get inside the wall. How you doing?
All right.
Do you mind if we,
We're from NAACP.
Okay, they raided your place too, right?
Yeah, they raided this place.
Gee, where?
They took the whole room was trouble. We had to clean up a little bit so we have sleeping places.
Okay, you repaired the place.
TV again
Did
broken.
they smash the TV?
Yes, this is nothing compared to the one in the front room.
Let me ask something. Was there anything in the TV or any reason for it to be smashed?
No, there's no reason for it.
Just get that, Mark.
I got it.
I want to tell you that I was like walking through the hall, right?
Do you want to be on film at all?
Huh?
Do you want to be on film?
Well, this is just for the NAACP. We're not going to give this film, part of the film, to the police. Why don't you just say what happened, briefly?
Well, they stopped me right there on the floor of my head and kicked me and slapped me on my neck. When I was walking down the stairs, one of the officers whispered to me, if I ever make a call to the police saying that I was going to kill him, that they would kill me first.
What? All right.
Okay.
Okay, I don't want to be on film, but
No, that's all right.
That's all right.
it first happened, like I heard the helicopter, so I just like peeked out the window to see what was going on. And before I could do anything, I heard glass and everything just breaking and doors kicking in with the door next door. So he ran up in here, and so I was like, "Officer, what happened?" By that time, he had my brother. They kicking him all in the face, and he said, "Just sit down."
You witnessed the beating of your brother?
Yeah. He was kicking him in the face. I asked him why he was doing that. So the other cop ran and told me to shut up and lay on the floor.
And they can see you're obviously
Yeah, I
pregnant.
told him that I couldn't lay on the floor because I'm 2 weeks from my due date and I couldn't get on the floor. He said, I don't give a F, get on the floor. So
Did they make you lay on the floor?
he made me lay on the floor.
And you are
2 weeks
pregnant.
overdue?
Before, no, not overdue, but in
2 weeks before? Okay.
Yeah. And so then he like got us all to the front room and so then he sent up a lady officer and she said, where are the bitches at? And then she took these little white things like garbage things and she tied
I got it. Okay.
and she tied our arms together.
Get that shot of the wall. The
And I told her
female
I
officer
couldn't be a lady officer.
had you tied up while your
She had me tied up in the living room
with your hands in front or behind you.
and back for about a good 2 hours. And I told her that I could, my arms had got numb and the circulation, I could just feel that, nothing was in my arm, to feel no blood rushing. She said, oh, that's nothing compared to labor. And I said, well, probably so, but could you take them off or something? So then the color cop, I was asking, could he take them off or just tie me to the gate if I just had me tied up? He said, no, because they have to be cut off.
Can I use your restroom? Is it
Yes,
working?
well, yeah, we put another toilet in there because they had to be...
They knocked the toilet out too?
They knocked it was no toilet. The broken toilet is in there, and then pieces are outside.
Did they put all these holes in the wall?
They put every hole in this wall. There was not a hole in the wall.
Okay, Mark, when you get done in there, come get this.
Okay. All right. Can you just take me through the house
Yes.
and tell me what each house is?
Okay, this is my mother's room right here.
Okay. How old is your mother?
She should be about 59.
Okay.
And she told him that she was having all kind of medication and she wanted to know what was going on. And he told her to shut up and get on the floor, too.
Gee,
And by that
okay.
time, he tied her down and tied everybody in the house down.
And they've also broken the windows in the mother's room as well.
Every window in this house.
Every window in the house and in the duplex has been broken.
They did everything.
Now, what's the reason for breaking the windows? Did they say anything about
Yeah,
it?
when they first came, they said, yeah, we heard that the 30s in this neighborhood said that they want to kill a cop.
The 30s in this neighborhood?
Neighborhood, yeah. And my mother, she has complained about gangbangers hanging around everything, but they said that this came from this neighborhood.
Are these all your mother's clothes or everybody's clothes
These are
here?
the clothes that came out the cabinet of here.
Oh, my goodness, okay. Take me through the rest.
Okay. This is special water my mother has to drink because the doctor put her on nothing but this kind of water.
Okay.
They took these bottles, about 7 of them, threw them out the window.
They threw your Arrowhead bottles out of the
Yeah.
window, second story of the house.
Yeah. Went inside the refrigerator.
Disconnected the
Yeah,
gas range.
He came back and hooked it up, tore the phones off. Every phone in the house was tore out the wall. And took everything out the refrigerator, meats and everything. Her mother just bought because she's on a budget. She likes buying meats for the month to last her.
Wait, hold on.
Cereal that was up on top of the refrigerator for the kids. When my kids come over here, they poured it in the sink. broke that up under there so we couldn't use it anymore.
What's this in the sink? All that food?
Flour and everything else they put over in there.
All right. And they broke in the walls in here as well?
Yes, the walls.
Did they say they were looking for anything?
They didn't say they were looking for anything.
Did they ever bring a search warrant or anything like that? Present to anyone?
After he got to turn up, he came back downstairs with a little white piece of paper that mother gave. I think she gave it to the manager. And it wasn't even really, the manager said that wasn't a search warrant.
These windows are not open. This is broken. It's all broken. And there were 7 Arrowhead water bottles thrown out from the 2nd story of the domicile.
Okay, Mark, get this bathroom.
Did they...
Church Elder David, the charges come from a black officer on leave from the Hawthorne Police Department who went undercover in Westwood last night and ended up arrested himself. Patrick Healy has his story.
Westwood has not been the same since shooting between rival gangs killed an innocent bystander 2 weekends ago. L.A. police announced expanded patrols would crack down on gangs, but some contend the LAPD has gone far beyond that, to the point of harassing certain Westwood visitors only because they happen to be young and black.
And we felt that this might be a good opportunity to stifle some of that arbitrary harassment.
Jackson had already created a stir by charging racism in Hawthorne police, where he made sergeant before going on leave. To make his point, Jackson left his police ID home, put on a blue plaid shirt, and took 6 volunteers to hang out in Westwood, along with photographers.
We're not doing anything at all except standing. Hare Krishnas were on one corner, there were other whites and several other people of different persuasions on other corners. The next thing we knew, the officers had come up upon us and ordered us to spread our arms out, or put our arms behind our head, spread our feet, and of course let them search us. I did nothing inappropriate. I didn't curse him, I didn't yell at him, I simply asked why I was being detained. I turned around, and next thing I knew, I was handcuffed and ordered to be moved over to a police car.
Jackson was in fact booked for interfering with a peace officer and taken to West LA jail, and that's where police learned who they were dealing with. LAPD today declined interviews about the incident, but Press Relations Commander William Booth issued a statement that to say the arrest was racially motivated is blatantly inaccurate.
But I would like to see them explain the situation in court.
Jackson's case comes after a week of controversial developments, including a report critical of LAPD deployment and response time in black communities, and revelations of internal investigations into abuse of black undercover officers by non-black officers who apparently did not recognize them. These are obviously serious issues, and the LAPD now finds itself under the magnifying lens. Patrick Healy, Channel 4 News, West LA.
Also brought on increased activity in terms of blacks being singled out and harassed, at least according to many blacks. This weekend, a black police officer took matters into his own hands, as Star Petty Griego reports tonight, set out to prove that those charges are true.
To serve and protect, LAPD says it's fulfilling that obligation in Westwood with beefed-up patrols to combat increased gang activity. But some blacks in L.A. say they're not receiving equal service and protection.
We receive inattention when crimes occur against us and in our own communities. We receive over-attention when we leave our communities, and we are harassed.
Over the weekend, Don Jackson, a Hawthorne policeman who is on stress-related leave, set out to prove charges of police harassment of blacks in Westwood. It was a private sting operation using this home videotape and still photographs. Friends captured the scene as Jackson and a group of 5 friends dressed in casual clothing were approached by police.
The first words I heard from the police were, hey, you, and you, spread your feet out and put your hands behind your head. They had no cause other than that we were standing on a corner like the Hare Krishnas and like several other people in the area. It's just that we happen to be black and we happen to be in Westwood.
Jackson was arrested, he says, simply because he asked why he and his friends were being questioned. But police have a different story.
At the point that the officers observe somebody on the sidewalk blocking it, the officers can come up and they can enforce or they can educate, but they have a right to conduct a thorough investigation. Mr. Jackson failed to identify himself and cooperate with the investigation.
LAPD insists its officers are treating all people equally in Westwood, but the department admits that the set of circumstances that has arisen in Westwood in recent weeks makes blacks a bigger focus of field interviews.
Unfortunately, the black gang members have been the ones identified as shooters down there, and We can't just pretend that it's not there, and we can't just wait until somebody's shot and killed and then react. So we're trying to do the best we can with the limited amount of information that we have.
Today, Assemblywoman Maxine Waters came out in support of Jackson's sting operation.
Let Sergeant Jackson and the others who are inside the police department, who are on the streets, who see what's going on, continue their documentation. Perhaps that will help to strengthen those who've been afraid to step out.
There'll certainly be more stings, and it won't be limited to LAPD. I can put a few other communities on notice that I will be there.
Jackson is scheduled to be in court March 10th on misdemeanor charges of interfering with a peace officer, but he says he expects the charges to be dropped. Between now and then, he plans to write or talk to all state and city officials possible about what he says is this problem that must be solved. John, Tricia.
As the arrest shows discrimination against blacks. Paul Dandridge has more on that story.
Saturday night in Westwood, a sting operation. A hidden camera starts to capture the action. But it's the police who are the object of the camera, as Hawthorne Police Sergeant Don Jackson is arrested after he and 6 other young black men go into Westwood, wearing baggy clothes, not unlike that worn by gang members. A gang member allegedly shot an innocent bystander in Westwood just weeks ago, and police now have beefed up patrols. Jackson and his men out to challenge the police and are stopped.
I heard 2 LAPD officers yelling, "Spread your feet, put your hands behind your head, and don't move."
Sergeant Jackson is on disability leave from the Hawthorne Police Department. He is suing them for $5 million, charging racial discrimination. The LA Police Department is calling this a media event. Jackson and his group, complete with cameras and legal representation, looking for trouble, say police, and finding it.
I said, well, interfering, what am I interfering with? You're interfering with an investigation. I said, am I interfering with you investigating me or investigating some incident out here? Have we violated the law? He said, just turn around or you're going to jail. I said, is there a supervisor out here? He said, that's it, you're going to jail. Turn around, put your hands behind your back. I was arrested. I was not asked what my name was or anything else. I was thrown in the back of a police car.
Jackson does not contend that he was poorly treated by police. The others with him were not arrested. Jackson feels that blacks in many cities are discriminated against by police. The police contend that Jackson refused to cooperate, did not identify himself. Today, Los Angeles police officers decided not to drop the charges against Jackson. He has a court appearance in March. He feels the city attorney will not go ahead with the case. But Jackson says he does plan more of his so-called sting operations. Reporting from South Central Los Angeles, Paul Dandridge, Channel 7, Eyewitness.
Accompanied or
Police are harassing blacks. Last Saturday, Sergeant Don Jackson took a group of 6 youths to Westwood Village. He also made sure his trip would be secretly videotaped. Jackson, who is on a medical leave, was arrested for allegedly obstructing justice, and the 6 youths were briefly detained. Jackson says his experience proves that innocent blacks have been harassed in Westwood since a gang murder there last month.
We are not going to see black people's movement throughout the Los Angeles area restricted because gangs are killing people in one side of the town or the other.
The Los Angeles Police Department says Jackson's group was blocking a sidewalk and verbally forced a confrontation.
Put your hands on your head, spread your feet, and turn around.
The man speaking, Hawthorne Police Sergeant Don Jackson, is one of 6 black men arrested Saturday night in Westwood. The arrest videotaped by a fellow police officer who made his feelings about police tactics well known.
How does that stack up in the Constitution? I'd like them to explain the probable cause on that one, yeah.
Sergeant Jackson admits the timing for the sting was perfect. Stepped up patrols in Westwood elevated public awareness of police priorities. But he said it was absolutely necessary for other reasons.
LAPD does discriminate in its treatment of people, and particularly people of color. We went out there not to cause trouble, but just to gain evidence.
And Jackson says the evidence was there.
And I said, well, is there a supervisor out here? He said, that's it, you're going to jail. I was arrested. I was placed in the back of the police unit.
But a police spokesman said Jackson and his group were in the wrong.
Mr. Jackson and his group were blocking the sidewalk. When Mr. Jackson refused the officer's instructions, he was arrested.
Officially, from downtown, the LAPD described the whole thing as a media event, denied any charges of racism, of course, and said that Sergeant Jackson, in fact, provoked his own arrest by failing to identify himself.
Sergeant Jackson's sting was no spur-of-the-moment idea. He is suing the Hawthorne Police Department for alleged discrimination there. He showed me racist literature he says was found on Southland Police bulletin boards. One bogus job application, for instance, asking whether marriage status is common law or shack-up.
These things are consistent, and then what the officers tell you are these things are jokes, and it doesn't interfere with the way we practice law. That's not correct. You can't think these things and then not go out and treat people in an inappropriate way.
Now, later on in this broadcast tonight, in a special segment, reporter Larry Atterbury is going to examine racial tensions in L.A. and pose the question, is another violent Watts explosion inevitable?
Friends were singled out for harassment by the LAPD.
Westwood has been the scene of controversy for the past 2 weeks because of police charges that black gang members have begun to prowl the streets of this predominantly white neighborhood. In turn, some black leaders have accused police of harassing blacks in Westwood. This home video shows where the issue stands now. 7 black men with their hands behind their heads, feet spread, being searched by LAPD officers. The 7 men and the friends who shot this tape from across the street in Westwood claim they were questioned by the officers simply because they're black.
That is simply not true. It was the actions by Mr. Jackson and his group.
The man on the left in the checkered shirt is Hawthorne Police Sergeant Don Jackson. He's just been arrested and handcuffed for allegedly interfering with a police investigation. He says he and the men with him were simply in Westwood Saturday night like thousands of other people.
We are tired of the second-class treatment that we receive just because we're black, just because we don't have the preppy look and we can't afford Pierre Cardin sweaters and shoes. We should not be harassed for that reason.
Jackson admits some of the men with him do have criminal records, but he says he and the others committed no crime on Saturday, and he rejects LAPD arguments that this was a media event.
Do they set up sting operations for media events? They set up sting operations to catch criminals. This operation was set up only and solely to catch people who use discrimination and incorporate that in their police work.
Jackson is consulting attorneys about what to do next, and as of now, there is no internal L.A. police investigation of the incident. Chris Harris, Fox News.
In the review, watch him come this way. Two more. And where's David? He's got Don hooked up there. Wait a minute. He's actually hooked up. Hang on here.
Let me put that on my shoulder.
And let me get the battery. Okay, yeah, because we don't want to say this to television. Joe overseas. They actually got Don hooked up.
Let's go over here.
That's where you use this light stand little cover here. Wow. stand a little bit more for cover.
More behind there?
Yeah. I'd like him to explain the probable cause on that one, you know. Damn, I wish the press was here.
There goes Don.
Wait a minute, they're gonna photograph his fingerprint, I think.
How does that stack up in the Constitution?
It'll be a big old shit when they get him to the station.
Does he get his ID on him anywhere?
Nah. Stand by here, let me lock the car up. I'll put the battery right there.
Okay. Don in the car yet? No. Let me know when they start coming for us. I want to get pictures of it.
Hey, Don's in the car. I saw Joe just walk up.
Where's Joe?
Standing right there by the walk sign.
I don't know how good these are going to come out.
The important thing now, John just got picked up, no PC. Yeah. On Westwood Boulevard on a Saturday night.
What are they doing? Checking him for tracks?
rest of them hooked up? Watching us?